Prime Minister, speaking a few moments ago in the House of Commons, has warned that the international situation is deteriorating rapidly and that the truth could break out anytime in the next 2 or 3 days. When you hear the sound of Darkcity radio, you know what to do. You and your family must take cover immediately. Lie down. Keep away from wind hose. Cover your head and eyes. Do not look at the sky. Take shelter immediately. Repeat. Stay indoors. Do not leave your home. Take shelter immediately. When you hear the sound, you know what to do. You and your family must take cover immediately. Duck and cover. Duck and cover. The initial flash from the explosion can burn to skin and ice.
Hi, good evening everybody. Bob here, commonly known as, at least, Paul to people that knew me before you called me Bob and things like that. Anyway, it's me. This person with the voice. Oh no, I can't be a person neither now, can I? No, that's not right neither. Oh, what do we do in this world of trickery? Trickery is sorcery. Sorcery, right? Well, I think I might become a wizard. I've been looking at some of these other people. I'm thinking I'm going to go and do some wizard training. I need to do some wizard training because my reptiles just won't dance to my tune. So yeah, I do believe that a friend of mine, has set up a bit of a circus for some of our other associates. And they've all gone to the circus. And I'd like to let you all know, all the vegetarians that have gone to the burger meeting, right, there is a vegetarian option for you down there. They're doing a lovely veggie burger. It's guaranteed to be completely riddled through a GMO product. And I'll guarantee you're leaking from the posterior by the end of the week. So yeah, nice to see some of the videos coming in from the circus. Yeah, lo and behold, anyone who gets pulled into that, who turns round and tries to tell us about the truth, okay? We've gone to the secret meeting that the fucking world knows about. Oh, and inside that building there's going to be people who are really important. Hang on a minute. Have we missed something here? We're all going to go and complain about the rich people. The rich people. Oh, look at the rich people in the nice big house, and we could be the peasants outside. Come on. All them people going down there giving all their authority to other people in a media circus. I've seen people dressed as clowns. I mean, so many people dressed as clowns, it's unbelievable. And you know, most of them don't even realise they've dressed up as a sideshow freak. They don't. I'll tell you what, the only thing I haven't seen is the bearded lady an electro woman. You know, she puts a light bulb in her mouth and turns it on. Come on. It's not just me, is it? Anyway, numbers, as usual. Crew, as usual. You know, what are they? I can't remember. What are the numbers? 0... No, it isn't. Yeah, if you're in the UK, it's 0161 298 0298. Got you then, did I? Changed me O for a 0.
I was scrambling to get it for you there.
Yeah. And if you're outside the UK, it's +44, or it could be 0044. Just depends. They just try and make it awkward, don't they? But the number kind of remains the same. So outside Europe, +44 161 298 0298. And Skype, Bob's Backyard. No worries at all. Still got Kirk with us. We might jump down a few rabbit holes with Kirk, which is always good fun. I've got a few trigger things I can throw in there. Get Kirk going now. And Dawn's with us, and that's it. We've got me, Irvis, and Dawn and Kirk. So you're all welcome to join us. Phone lines are open. And yeah, there's enough of you out there. There's enough of you out there listening to us at the moment. And thank you very much to all you people who are actually out there tuning into the station. Most appreciated. Again, just from a personal point of view, you know, when you do put the hours and the time in, when I wake up in the morning and the radio's off, for whatever reason, you know, we're a beta prototype, aren't we? Well, at least I am. And you know, when it's off, and I actually, I scurry downstairs and I access the server and switch it on, and then to get people messaging me right after that saying thank you. That was beautiful this morning. Thank you very much indeed, both of you. It was lovely. And there was only about 5 or 6 people. There was only about 5 or 6 people on it. Well, obviously, it had gone off. So, yeah, right on. It meant a lot, that. Only a little thing, I know. Only a little thing. But meant a lot to me.
Do you know,
really
can I jump in here? Because I just thought, I wanted to give a shout out to this Glenn Harvey, who was on our page earlier on, and he said, "Hey lads and lassies broadcasters," oh, well, never mind that bit, but he said he misses getting his daily dose of the Darkcity radio, because we did have technical issues earlier on, which we got fixed pretty quickly, so
yeah, if you normally,
you let us know,
normally, I'm monitoring it normally. When I'm not on, I'm monitoring it. It's on quiet somewhere. You know, I do. Sometimes I miss it, and you know, it's always the case. If I run upstairs to go to my toilet, it breaks. If you sit here and stare at it, it stays perfect all right. As soon as you get up, something goes wrong. So yeah, and it's great to have feedback. Feedback's good. It really is good. So yeah, shout out also to the YouTube. I've made a few mistakes with the YouTube. I kind of rushed to get things up there. I think I'm up to date up to the 22nd. There might be a missing Rick Simpson file somewhere. We have got them all. It's just they're in different places. So I have to go back into the old logs and find the ones. What I think I've done is, I think I've got them all, but I've named 2 of them the same. So it's one of them, isn't it? I've made a bit of a file error. So we've got them, and I will sort that out. But rather than spending loads of time putting more Rick Simpson stuff up, I posted must have been, probably 10 hours of Rick Simpson shows the other day. And somebody immediately got on to me and went, "Where's show 18? It's like, whoa, hang on a minute. So yeah, it's there somewhere. I might have just numbered them wrong. I don't know. I've got to check the dates. But I am going to render some more in the next few days and get some of the shows up. So yeah, I'm up to the 22nd of last month, I do believe. And I can probably, do that by the end of the week if all things pan out. So I'll get them all up by then. Get them all up. Website, yeah, still on its way. Getting good reports from all that. No major problems. One thing we would ask, if you're a host or you've been on Darkcity Radio as a guest or anything like that, or you're thinking of coming on, you need to give Jabba a banner for your show and, a bit of a photograph for yourself. If you haven't already got one on the site, or an avatar and stuff. Some people use avatars, that's fine. So yeah, have an avatar and you know, for the new website. If you haven't already put them there, you could do with them. That'd really help. You know what I mean? You can't ask a bricklayer to build an house without bricks. So you get a carpenter instead. So yeah, give him the material he needs. If you would, please. That'd be really cool. Have I got anything else to tell you regarding, servers and stuff like that? We have changed some stuff now. We've changed a little bit of the security. We've changed some security. And now, things have got a lot more stable. A lot more stable. So that's pretty cool. And once we've got that, the magical server, the magical mystical server, I might call it Turtle. No, they've all got 3-letter acronyms. All of them. Dan, Bob, Jim, Sue, Steve, and so forth. So all 3-letter acronyms. So there isn't ever going to be a Paul. That'll be the Mark IV. That'll be the Mark IV version. So yeah. Yeah, and as we get that done, as we get that like rock solid, then that'll make the third server will be exactly the same. And that's kind of a little bit of the strength of Darkcity. We are actually now currently streaming on 2 separate streams. And I do know at least one of those streams is being picked up and played elsewhere. Okay? And being played elsewhere. Now look, as a listener, this is beneficial for you. If we lose one of our streams for whatever reason, we'll still be transmitting on the other one. Okay? Well, have you got that? All right. And eventually there'll be 3 of them. And each one of those has a capability of 6 streams. That gives us a potential of 18 streams. And a listener count of over 1 billion. I think we've covered it. All right? I think we've covered that side of things. And obviously, the next big jump, and I don't know when this will come, will be television, Darkcity Radio TV or DC TV, which has always been on the cards, always been there for us to be able to give you live footage of the things we're doing, play things like Kirk's films, his animations he's done, Rick Simpson's Run for the Cure. I'm just mentioning a couple that have been here. You know, there's other great people we've had along who've done video presentations or made films. And we should be able to play those. I mean, even if we've only got a few hours and we have to keep repeating them, that's fine. I remember when we started off and we had music from Daryl. I mean, everybody else's music. It was, and then slowly but surely we've become the non-commercial radio where we've had people who, we want to play. Is it commercial? Yes. Oh well, we don't do that. We're different. Oh, but you know, it's not in the top. Yeah, but it's commercial. It's commercial. You know, it's a line we have to draw. We have to draw this line. It's like one side of it, there's community. The other side of it is profit. Which side are you on? One side's doomed to fail. You see, in my mind, what's happened is the profit side of it keeps failing. And its community keeps propping it up. Well, I think it's time to have real compassion. I'm not talking about fighting or killing or anybody starving to death or people being out on the streets out of their homes and houses. I mean, get out on the streets, like Rick said earlier, you know, travel about, go and see, broaden your horizons, meet people in other countries, different areas, you know, seize the moment. Seize the moment. This is, you are playing the leading role in your life. I've touched on this before. No one's got more authority over there than you. You're the one best qualified to judge, and this includes me. I know I'm using that you word, but just know it's including me as well. I'm part of it. You know? No one's got the right. You know, it's us. It's us. So we're playing that leading role, you know, and it's come up a couple of times, this, about all the world's a stage. All the world's a stage. Well, look, some of us are better at acting than others. And there ain't many of us who are real. It's about being real, I reckon. It's about being real. Really is. Oh, hey, up here's what they are. Hang on. Talking about being real. Are you real? Are you real? Hello?
I am real.
Yeah.
I just summoned Vosto and he came
It
almost
cannot
immediately.
get more
Ain't that
real
good?
than me.
It's definitely real, Masto. Definitely real. So yeah, making it real, taking responsibility back for ourselves, you know, and playing a leading role in your life. I mean, like I say, unless you want somebody else to play a leading role in your life, it seems a bit of a preposterous thing to me. Really does. Really does. So yeah, now, some of that, I'm going to use Kirk, I'm Vosto now as an example, because I don't know if you've all heard Vosto's music. He's like famous in the city. Not everybody's heard of Vosto, you see, in Darkcity. But I've actually been playing Vosto's music with... look at that, the back one's not up at the moment. So I'm going to have to use my memory. Oh my God, I'm going to have to use my memory. I've been playing Vosto, Alan Jolly, Connors, and Jabba's music on the other stream during the day. So we've got the repeat shows of the Darkcity shows that I've been on, the various shows being played on the station. And that has been appreciated, especially by people outside the UK, because they're getting to hear stuff, or people who are on shift work and stuff like that, who can't listen to the live shows, who do want to tune into the radio. They do want to tune in. They don't want to go and suck Satan's... Oh, hang on, I've got to stop saying that. Haven't I? They don't want to use YouTube.
Got a terrible habit of saying that.
I know. They don't want to go to YouTube, and they don't really want to go to Facebook. And you know, there's quite a number of the crew members who haven't got Facebook. I've been telling people, I've been saying, look, we all click on the links, and if we all work together, we can promote the individual. Oh, I haven't got Facebook. Really? I haven't got Facebook? No, I'm it's all right, it's okay.
Oh, Facebook is in Project Prism, so it's good to avoid Facebook.
Yes, I agree. I actually agree with you, Vosto. You know why we're using it? You know, it is, isn't it? Why we're using YouTube. And it's a lot of the time, you know, why are we... Well, it's what's available to us. It's what has been available. It really has. I mean, YouTube in its early days, it wasn't what it is today. You know, you used to be able to go to the baker's and buy yourself a loaf of bread and a couple of cakes and eat them with confidence. And as Kirk's pointed out, and many other people now, the bloody flour that they're making the cakes out of has been grown by corn, which has been fucking genetically... I'm all into cross-fertilisation of plants and creating new strains, you know, with a paintbrush.
Yeah, while you're bringing that up, I still had something I wanted to ask Kirk about the GMO labelling and that. Like, how can you tell the difference between something that's in the shops, if you're going buying stuff, say, how do you tell the difference between the GMO stuff and the non-GMO, like organic or whatever? I mean, what's the best indicators?
Well, at the moment, well, I mean, if it's organic, then that should guarantee that it's not GMO. But then all they've got to do is change the classification of organic, and then you can say it's organic, and it's not. I mean, that hasn't happened yet. But in the same way that aspartame and things like that can also be now labelled as a natural sweetener, because
yeah.
Did you know that? You know. So
yeah, but I heard also that had been changed name to AminoSweet to try and kind of like con people to sneak under the radar, so to speak.
Yeah, because amino is like amino acid, so it sounds natural. But they've actually, I don't know, I'll have to find out what it is, but they've actually gone to another name now, something that sounds more kind of lovely. So they're not going with amino sweet, they're going with something else. But yeah, so I think that's the only way really you can know that something doesn't contain GM stuff. I mean, yeah, there's been a big thing in this country about honey basically coming in from all other countries. I mean, within kind of Eastern Europe, and it's basically just sugar water, you know, but it's labelled as honey. And then when you're buying food from places, other companies that are producing kind of food like McDonald's or Burger King, they don't put labelling on their food, so you could be getting kind of stuff that way. But then the other point of that is that burgers and things can come from cows that are fed on GM corn. So you'd never know that. So in a way, it is still genetically modified because it's in them and then it's in us after we eat it. I mean, cows are given corn when they should be eating grass, and they stand up to their kind of bellies in cow shit.
And they're pumped full of antibiotics as well, aren't they?
Yeah, recombinant. I mean, in the milk, there's like recombinant growth hormones that's used, and antibiotics and stuff like that, and also pus and blood, if you're unlucky as well, from the mastitis that they get from the milking process on their udders. But that's why the milk's heated to kind of get that out. And in America as well, they want to put aspartame in milk.
Oh yeah, I could believe that. Definitely.
So to answer your question, organic at the moment until organic is reclassified. But if you're eating kind of cheap junk food or fast food, then you may be getting GM stuff that way.
Yeah, and I did come across something particularly, I suppose, quite relevant if you're eating out as well, and how best to avoid GMO if you're eating out. Like, it's I can't actually remember the site that I found this on, but I'm going to read it anyway. It's helpful to have a knowledgeable server or chef guides you through the menu to help you avoid GM foods. It's not too hard to identify the non-GMO options on the menu. A good first question is, what oil do you cook with? Because if they use soya, cottonseed, canola or corn oils, they are likely GM if they're not organic. And if so, if you ask, to have your food cooked without the oil, obviously, because...
Yeah, I mean, that's another good point. I bet that article was done by Jeffrey Smith.
It could be.
Yeah. Because, that's another good point that I kind of miss, is that if you know what the GM foods are, the main GM foods, then try and avoid them. I mean, I won't eat kind of sweet corn anymore, because, you don't know exactly kind of, what if it is GM or not. So, I mean, that's not a big thing really, but, avoid the food that is GM, and, I mean, because corn gets used in a lot of ways. It's a really big food kind of additive. So it gets processed into lots of different things and goes into a lot of different food. So, organic, I think, is your safest bet, and try and avoid anything that is a large GM kind of crop.
And you did mention earlier on about, just to finish up, just got a couple more things I wanted to say. You did mention earlier on about the wheat, the GM wheat or something. I found this article earlier about Monsanto's unapproved genetically engineered Roundup Ready wheat was found growing in a random Oregon field last week, and the farmer doesn't know how it got there. Neither does anyone else, since Monsanto ended field testing this type of wheat 8 years ago. US Department of Agriculture, USDA, is currently investigating the extent of the contamination. That's from the Trenches Worldreport.com. Monsanto GE experiment out of control is the title.
Well, we're in good hands then, aren't we? And I'm sure they'll do a thorough investigation and give Monsanto a big slap on the wrist for this,
Mm-hmm.
Or they won't, And we know how it got there, don't we? We know how it got there. We know how it got there. Yeah.
And one other article that I came across was a French court on Monday declared US biotech giant Monsanto guilty of chemical poisoning of a French farmer, a judgment that could lend weight to other health claims against pesticides. That was also from WorldTruth.tv. Monsanto guilty of chemical poisoning in France.
Was that through the glyphosate, Roundup pesticide that they produce? Because that also used to be classified as organic, but which is ridiculous, really. But they had to change their labelling. But yeah, probably from that. I mean, if you see the kind of crop sprayers being loaded, you know, and the stuff they use, it's got kind of big biohazard signs on it, you know, and this stuff is being drenched onto our food, even more so if the crop is resistant to it.
I just noticed now Reese posted a link in the chat. GMO labelling is it as easy as reading a Plu barcode? Anyway. That's really all I wanted to say on the subject. But yeah, thanks for your input there, Kirk. That was great.
No problem. I mean, I'm just learning about this like anyone else, you know. But the whole point of doing GMO Go was, you know, to round up about 8 hours worth of video into 9 minutes of kind of animation to make it an introduction. And you know, we've got it in a couple of different languages as well. You know, we've got
That's
it in
fantastic.
We've had it translated to Serbian and Polish as well.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I've said it time and time again, and I'm going to say it again. It's really funny. It's really. They're great films, so please check them out. GMO, Go, Meet Your Straw Man, and The Disclosure is the other one, isn't it? Yeah.
The Disclosure is like just a 3.5 minute film. It's just like a kind of a satirical look at kind of what's going on, and you know, we did it when there was this kind of big build up about, you know, possible disclosure and things like that. So we kind of threw that in as well. And that Disclosure took 15 minutes for me to write. It just like poured out of me. Whereas the others were much, much, much harder. But Disclosure was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Paul, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, about what Kirk's work and what he's done in the films. Well, Meet Your Straw Man. I've lived it. I was the straw man for a bit. I kind of started to break that. I mean, and I've heard a couple of people say, well, it doesn't work. What, if you go in and try to reenact Kirk's cartoon? No, it doesn't. It's a position that you've got to take. Are you with me? It's an individual position. And so for me, they're brilliant. They've been brilliant tools. Another GMO, I don't know the video like I know the other, you know. But what got me is when I spoke to Kirk first and I looked at his videos, there was 300,000 hits on Meet Your Straw Man. I think it's Meet Your Straw Man. About 1/3 And I was like, hang on a minute, this has been kicking about a while now. And everybody I know knows of this. I mean, there's no people know about that in my circles. They know about Rick Simpson's Run from the Cure. And it's like, why hasn't it not had more hits? And you've answered that tonight, Kurt, because collectively it's had well over 1 million. Collectively. It really has. What we're seeing on your original upload is only a small proportion of the views that it's really getting. It's got to be over 1 million. It's got to be. If there's 300,000 on yours, and that video is it's not just there, it's in other areas, and even on YouTube, and it'll be in other places now. So yeah, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole with it. I haven't gone hunting it out and adding up the numbers. But I'm just going off what we see. There are people that get far more hits on the Darkcity radio shows, which have been put on YouTube and then took down and put back up again. And they get more hits on their channels than we actually get on the Darkcity YouTube channel. So, yeah, that's a big chunk. And that's a big chunk of it. Or at least it answers a few of the questions for me.
Could I just jump in again there?
Yeah, please do.
Now, Reese has posted in the chat room about that article that she threw up. Numbers under the barcode tells you country of origin, and if the food is GMO, it will start with an 8, and if it's organic, it will start with a 9. So I thought that was quite good information.
All right, that's the barcode.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. If your barcode starts with an A,
It's GMO.
it's GMO. So if you see a barcode in the supermarket that's got an 8 in it, yeah. and what can you do? Open it and walk on. Open the jar and walk along. You know, you don't want somebody else picking up that, do you? I mean, you know. Yeah.
And if it starts with a 9, it's organic.
Yeah, and if you actually see any products in there that say West Bank on them, there's a trade embargo. That should be.
Rabbit Pinch says, sounds like bullshit to me. Prove. Well, if you have any evidence to the contrary, then call in and give us it. That would be great. Because, like, we like to hear both sides, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Rabbit's alright. No, Rabbit's alright normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like to hear.
Yeah,
like,
ring in Rabbit, ring in
argument,
Naruce, ring in Naris, ring in Rabbit. We'll have True for SmackDown barcode.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's find out. That's what it's about. Let's find out if it is right.
Yeah, we want to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Because they are, aren't they? Barcodes and a lot of these things are issued all over the place. You can make your own barcodes, of course, in store. They can have their own in-store barcodes. But yeah, it sounds right. Hey, we don't know. Let's find out.
I'll copy the link in here so we can have a look as well, because I haven't actually looked at the link properly yet. 2.6. I was kind of like...
The thing is, it's already out, isn't it? You know, there are GMO crops now. Now, I don't know. I would doubt that these crops are non-pollinating. I mean, some crops, you know, I mean, some of them will be self-pollinating. Do they produce pollen? If they produce pollen, then Kirk's right. You know, what we're actually trying to do is hardwire into a computerized system, which is far more technologically advanced than anything we can begin to imagine. And we're stood there with a set of jump leads trying to boot start it with a car battery. It's like, come on now, what? It's there, you know, once it's there, it's there. Now, I actually think that, and I can see it as Kirk, well, I wouldn't say as Kirk sees it, but very similar. I do see that we were the computers. Us humans, we're waking up. That's the horizon. That's what we're waking up to. You know, and we can see that reflectively in that we're waking up to the frauds within government and medicine and food and, you know, and we got to give the people who are on the inside defending their position time to realise what we've already seen. I think sometimes when we run up to them and shout, "That's GMO, you crazy," and we're the crazies. And that's why I wasn't impressed with Alex Jones. And do you know, I kind of like Alex Jones, mate. I mean, people think, what? I do. I think he's singing to a different choir, that's all. He's done a hell of a lot of good work. Same as David Icke, you know. But what Alex has just done on BBC television has done as much for us lot. I mean, you know what I mean? You couldn't have paid him. I hope they did pay him, actually. I hope he didn't actually go on the BBC television, right, and shaft us all one free of charge. Surely not. He wouldn't do that just to promote Infowars.com. Infowars.com. You know, I mean, how many times is he going to shout? I don't know if anybody's seen this. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
TV. Have you seen it, Dawn? I mean,
I only heard him shouting it once, but to be honest, my take on the whole BBC thing was it was ambush journalism. It was planned to ambush him, basically.
Yeah, of course it was the BBC.
Exactly. So it was from the start. From the start, it was biased.
Oh yes, it would have been biased. Of course, it would have been. Yeah, I would have expected.
And the guy interviewing him was.
Of course, Alex wouldn't have expected it to be. Yeah, well, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. We're talking about the majority of people. Not
And I mean, like, how unprofessional is it? Like, when you're interviewing somebody, and even if you don't need to agree with everything they say. That's fair enough, right? But if you don't agree, and then you start telling them to shut up all the time, shut up, shut up, shut up. I mean, I'm sorry, but fuck off, you know.
Look, what I'm trying to point out here is I'm not siding with the BBC, Don. Far from it. It was ambush journalism. I totally agree with you. But of course, Alex wouldn't have suspected that, would he? Alex wouldn't have suspected.
Of course he would.
Of course he would.
Expect
Yes, of course, or at least he should have done, and he should have remained calm and collective. You know. And stood his ground.
Alex's personality as he gets passionate. It was just being.
Well, they played him, didn't they? They played him.
I actually think he handled it quite well, to be honest, because
Really?
yeah, I do, because like he stuck on point, and then at the end of the end, all through, even though we kept badgering him, he did stick to his points, and then. When it got to the end of the interview, he basically just called them out for the fucking game they were playing. And I know I'm swearing here, but I am passionate as well. I'm like really passionate to a rant right now. Rant mode. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not, like I say, I'm
taking
sides. I'm not taking sides with Alex or the BBC. Right, I'm not. Because I don't take sides with anybody who works with a paedophile ring. Now, let's. I'm
not going to take it to that level. I'm not really like.
I'm not going to work with people who work with them. I've worked with them, and that was prior to all this breaking. And I had 4 days of filming with them, and after that 4 days, it materialised into a 5-minute section where they didn't cover anything that I asked them to. They covered us as an allotment action group. And changed the name. They didn't even get the location right. And they never covered anything at all about what we talked about. Finding the council, changing their own internet site, trying to make out the site never existed, trying to cover up information, threatening people, arranging raids on people's houses through the friends within the Masonic Club right at the back of the police station, advertising it openly on the internet. Once we brought the story, they tried to remove it all, but it had been videoed. They lied, they cheated, there's no tipping chat. BBC never covered any of it. Why would they? I'm surprised they actually didn't edit it further to make it look more ridiculous. We know what they are. I mean, I know a lot of the people who are working there aren't as clued up about this as most of us, but we know. Come on. All the way back to 9/11. 45 minutes, what? They're going to pull building number 7. What, the BBC gets to find out before anybody else? The BBC knew it was going to happen before the American government. Really? What, the BBC knew? The build of it, the BBC covering it, the major media are all covering it, whooping everybody up. I mean, like I say, to me, it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. Looks like they're all selling out. Looks like we're all selling out to summer. When somebody lets me know what I sold out to, will you let me know? Because I've got a sneaky suspicion that they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it. They don't actually see it. They're saying it. These people are saying it. I mean, I've learned so much from Alex Jones, and you know, I have. I've learned loads from him. I'm not going to deny that. You know, that's why I find it hard to go, what the? That don't make any sense to me. How can you say that and then do that? How can you stand there in the United States and talk about what's gone on the BBC and what they are, and then the next minute turn up on the BBC? It just don't work in my head. Excuse me, you know what I mean? I've made mistakes before, but that don't work for me. But do they realise they're doing it? You know, do they do it? I mean, I've made so many mistakes. I didn't know I was doing it. You know, I didn't know. I supported the corporate. I had an house and a mortgage. I went and licensed my kids and shoved aluminium in them. I didn't know. I didn't know I was doing it. Do they know? You know, is it every time somebody gets put into a position of authority or a leader or someone who's... Does it just drive them insane? Is that what happens? Do they just go nuts?
Can't handle it. It's too much power for one person. They can't handle it. So they're going nuts.
Maybe, you know, maybe that's what the do you know the real thing behind it is, Dawn? Do you know the real secret societies? Do you know? The ones that nobody knows really who they are. I mean, I can only find one, me. That's Anonymous. And I'm sure they're not running the fucking world. You know? I've met some people, and they're nice guys. They're just normal people, you know? They just don't want to come up to the forefront. That's all it means. You know, people are like, Anonymous, oh, they're a hacking group.
It's an idea.
They're not. They're not a hacking group. What are you talking about? You know, there are hackers who remain anonymous. Okay?
It's an idea.
That's it. You know, there are fishmongers, right, that when they go home at night, they dress up in women's clothing, and they're men. And they do it anonymously. What's the problem? They're like, what you want to do in the privacy of your own home, as long as you're not hurting, loss, or harm, or, you know, breaching your neighbour's peace, you know, what's the problem? There shouldn't be one, but there is. There is, because it's not your home. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. What you do in your own home, you don't say what you go in your home. You haven't got a choice. I mean, take the cannabis thing. You can sit in your home, you can drink alcohol, and have sex with the same person, the same sex person, same sex marriage, yeah, of a different religion and a different race and colour. You can do all that. You can drink alcohol. You can smoke cigarettes. You can do all that, right? That's fine. But you can't smoke a weed. Right, hang on a minute. Why can you do it? Because it's not your house. It doesn't belong to you. It's not your house. It's not yours. The land you walk on, that's not yours neither. No, it's ridiculous. Because you see, from the other side of me says, hang on a minute, I was born here, me. And that all of it's mine. If anybody's having it, then I'm having all of it. And I'll share it out equally to everybody. We can all share it together, can't we? One side of me says that. And the other side of me is living in this ridiculous nature that somebody else can take it away from us. But they do. Every day. Every day. They decide, the so-called them. Now, the them are the ones we put in authority to make these frigging decisions. And when did they ever make a... Do you know what I mean? What happens? You talk to these people. Oh, yes, I'm going to implement green policies throughout the entirety of Europe. And you're thinking, that's a great idea. And you vote for them, right? They get into this position, and then they turn around and say, yes, our green policy is gas fracking and GMO foods. Yeah, you're like, hang on a minute. Oh, yes, because fracking gas will put a relief on the social. It's like they've lost it. They've lost it. How could that be? How could this be beneficial? So to me, we've been ambushed. That's all it is. We've been ambushed, proper ambushed, right? By lying, cheating, thieving scum, really. And most of them don't even know. Most of them actually think they're doing the divine work of some Lord here, and that we're all too stupid, right? That we run around, we drink seawater and we eat tree bark and then die of ignorance on a daily basis. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, we do actually die of ignorance, don't we? That's the whole shame of it, I think. You know, we actually die of ignorance on a daily basis. All them cancer patients, they died of ignorance. Ignorance. You know, that's what kind of gives me a bit, you know, it makes me proud. I'm proud. I've been through a lot of shit, mate, you know what I mean? I really have. And I'm proud. I'm proud, mate. Because, you know, if we can remove that ignorance, we don't have to save people. I'm not here to save anybody. I don't want to create a victim so I can feel better about myself. But I tell you what, at the moment, there seems to be a bloody queue of victims. A queue of them, lining up. Me next. Poison me. Me next. Persecute me. Next, strip away all these rights that I've been fighting for because I'm a slave. Can we get there? Can we get there? Can we? Barry can get there. You can get there, can't you, Barry? Kurt can get there. We lost Dawn. She fell off. What happened to Dawn? She smiled at him and fell off.
Yeah, she was getting tired, I think, so she said goodnight. But, yeah, what a hypocrisy in our society, eh, guys? Everything you're saying, man, really hits home with me.
So it's not just me. I've not gone nuts, have I? Because I've been staring.
No, it's not you at all, buddy. Not at all. I mean, I see everything that you're saying. It all is all right in front of us. And the thing about it is it's so disturbing to me that it's so blatant. And yet people are still so zombified that they just carry on with their lives like nothing is wrong. And yet we're in a lot of trouble. We all know that, but we have to make each other aware.
Luce, what can we do? What can we do?
Well, that is a big question. I find myself, buddy, I deal with this a lot, and we all talk about it, but I keep getting back. Like, I find that I just try and deal in positive shit that I can really affect my own life, because I see all this shit going on in the world, buddy, and if I deal on it all the time, it's going to drive me fucking nuts. It is. Because it's so right in our faces, and it's so blatantly obvious what's going on, and yet we just continue on with our lives like nothing is happening.
Hey, Barry,
yes, sir.
I tell you what, I've just had a cracking answer to my questions, actually. And I liked it, I do. Listen to this, right? From Rabbit Pitch, right? Pinch, excuse me. Alex used the BBC like Darkcity uses Facebook. Love it. I love that. Because that's what I sincerely hope that is the case. And I sincerely hope next time that Alex uses Facebook, uses the BBC, like he used, next time Alex uses the BBC like we use Facebook, then Alex, like I, needs to learn how to operate at the BBC. Just like I need to learn how to operate on Facebook. Because I'm rubbish at it. So, thank you very much indeed, Rabbit. Yeah, I'll go with that, me. No, I'll go with that. He did. I got this feeling that he didn't know what he was doing, and I get that's what it were. It was just, but right on, yeah, I'm going to go with that, because it's a positive way of looking at it, and I like that. You pulled me out of my rabbit hole, Rabbit. Rabbit pulled me out of my rabbit hole. So yeah, right
Alex
on.
Alex
right
knows,
on, yeah. Alex used the BBC like we use Facebook.
There.
So I think what we need to do is stop using Facebook then, Barry. Yeah, that's the solution, isn't it?
I know a lot of people that are doing that, my friend.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, mate. I was talked into it in the first place.
Yeah, but we all accept it just as a form of communication. If you go off Facebook, you're going to lose touch with everybody you know in the world, but it's not that way. And I know a few people have talked to me about getting off it. It's not a good thing to be on. Can't do all the research, but I've looked into a bit of it, and they're spying on us. And Alex, I have, honestly, but I haven't even looked at what Alex's rant there when he got confronted, but I'm going to go have a look at it. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, so maybe you can enlighten me a little bit. What exactly happened?
No, it weren't too bad. They just played him, like I say. I voiced it with my council, Darkcity, you see.
Right.
And people have popped up, but that's what a lot of it's about for me. I was like, well, how's that going to help anybody, Alex? And like I say, now just looking at it from another angle, I suppose I'd come across in the United States like a proper hippie girly tart. I probably would. Like I say, I've said it before, he's singing to a different audience. And I bet it goes really down well in the US, actually, Alex. Just looking at it from that point of view, it will look like Alex Jones just ripped an hole in the BBC. So yeah, hey, I'm getting positive about that.
It's like Rick said earlier today. He doesn't know
what's going to pull out of his hat then. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Hey, Rabbit. Pull me a rabbit out of that. Pull me a rabbit out of your hat, Rabbit. Yeah. Give me a shot on how David Icke gets away with actually telling people to hold on from Darkcity until he releases his. How'd you get out of that one? That was that's
stab in the back. Yeah, kind of like, what the heck you got to do that for, buddy?
When we've got people like David Icke, right, talking to the guests we've had on Dark City Radio, telling them, like, hold on for my announcement. What news? It don't matter. I'm not bothered what it is. It don't matter what his motives are. Thank you, David. And by the way, we don't tell lies on Dark City. We all talk to one another. Yeah. There's loads of people actually been to Dark City now and told us stuff. Yeah, so don't start throwing rocks at us. Because we know, David. Yeah. We knew before you did it. We knew you were doing it before you did it, David. Yeah, you did to us what we didn't do to you. You chew on that.
Yeah, people that live in glass houses shouldn't be throwing stones, that's for sure, man.
But like I say, man, behind it, they're good people. They're good. We've got to see the men and women, you know, that are our brothers and sisters, through this facade, through the media circus. And if anybody tells me, right, that the veggie burgers, right, haven't just put on a media circus, right, then ring in, come on, ring in, right, because that's what it is. And let hopefully the so-called truth movement will see the truth in that, and they will highlight the circus nature of it. We've got a good few circus performers down there. I haven't seen the bearded lady yet, but I have seen. It is, man. It's a circus sideshow. It's just it's so obvious. We've got people down there telling, oh, look at this, immediately pass this video around, illegal arrest. The guy gets arrested, he's laughing his head off. He's like, yeah, I'm getting arrested, I'm going to get a lift down to the police station, they'll let me out 40 minutes before I need to go down that way. It's
trying to keep a straight face.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Breaking
it is.
News from the veggie burgers.
It's a joke. It's a joke. But it's what we're surrounded by every day, man. It's like, it is a circus. They're all a bunch of clowns, man. But as soon as you get to see that, you don't laugh at them. You kind of piss on them.
Well, you know, they got me a couple of times today, but thanks to Rabbit. Rabbit, you're a big help to me there, mate. I like to give credit where it's due. I got lost with Alex again, mate. I was like, what is going on? But I did. I just flicked over. I'm looking at a great big 28-inch monitor. And on American news, there's Alex Jones giving it out.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing today on Rick's show, and you guys pulled me back. I started going down a rabbit hole I shouldn't have gone down, but all of a sudden, Barry, come back. But we all do that because everything we talk about all relates to all these rabbit holes, and we can't go down them all because they're all pretty deep. But who wants to go down them? Let them pull them out of their hats.
You know, I mean, I'm in a great respect, right? If the shape-shifting reptilians, right, on this planet, right, are running the country, what are we going to do about it? The shape. Oh my God, they're a teacup. I got my teacup's a reptilian shapeshift. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. You know, oh no, they only shapeshift into important people. Why would you do that? If you're a hyper-intelligent shape-shifting reptilian, right, why would you choose to be the queen? I'd choose to be a normal, everyday person, me, and just get on with my life and have a great laugh while I'm doing it. You'd be brilliant when you got short of cash or something. You could just shape-shift to a money bag. People would fill you up. You could walk off with the cash.
It's like a thief bringing attention to himself, man. You want to be a low-laid little old hippie sitting on a corner fucking with your cup out, with your glasses on.
No, I'd if they outside the bank, people would come up and put the money in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
ridiculous. You know, these people
it is.
Got an imagination. They're really shape-shifting reptilians running the planet. No, they're just your brothers and sisters, same as you and me, driven insane.
Yep. The thing about it is some people actually believe this shit, and I just go, well, yeah, okay, buddy. I don't know what planet you're on, bud, but you're not on Earth, that's for sure. But people do believe the shit. That's what disturbs me, man, is people are going along with this program. As like Rick said, he doesn't know what's going on with David Icke right now. I think he's off on another tizzy somewhere, or he's got some influences on his back that he's not telling us about. But I don't go there. I don't even bother with it.
Yeah, well, like I say, man, I suppose.
I don't waste my time with him. I don't.
Yeah, well, we've only got. Go on,
sorry,
man.
he has been a supporter of Rick's. I know that. So yeah, Rick's kind of like Rick's telling me he doesn't know what's going on with this guy right now.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about it, man. It just really is a bit crazy in it. What's going on? I mean, it don't matter.
It is.
As long as we know what we're doing. Hey, you know, let's not worry too much about what other people are doing. Right.
And let's just make ourselves aware of it. That's all. Well, and if we're aware of it, we can avoid it. You know.
even I've got pulled into the rabbit hole a few times, and I've been watching out for them. You know, they're all over the place. You know, on a daily.
Yeah, me too.
Just trying to stay focused in what I'm doing. Anyway, Kirk, Kirk's not even got a word in, have you, Kirk, mate? I know. I saw you trying to chip in a couple of times. You got to be quick to be embarrassed.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. You know, I didn't want to just kind of jump in and. You know, I'm a little bit kind of bashful about doing this, to be honest. But I'm gonna use this to get over that. Yeah, I think the David Icke thing, I think he's kind of taking a leaf out of Alex Jones's book, because Alex Jones does like the money bomb and things like that, and he raises a lot of money. I don't think David Icke's a multi-millionaire like Alex Jones, lives in a mansion like Alex Jones. But I think this venture that he's kind of going off now, I think he's being coached a bit by Alex Jones. And I thought the same thing about, you know, that you said, Paul, about the rent. Initially, I felt, you know, he was being played like a violin. Like you said, he knew what was going to happen when he went in there. He knew what they were going to do. They were going to try and kind of mob him, and he should have been a bit calmer. But, you know, I don't know, really. My reaction to it was, you know, I felt a bit cringy and didn't think it helped. So what would the average person think? You know, and I've actually got a bit more sympathy for Alex Jones. Like you said, he's done a lot of good stuff. So, you know, would he just be written off as a fringe lunatic by most people?
Well, I reckon he's still in for the time being. I mean, he still can't get to us. We know that. But yeah, we don't boot anybody out, do we? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm with you on it, man. I'm with you on it. I lived in their world, mate, for years, and I know what they're going to do. They're going to go, he's crazy. He's crazy. Look at that. Why is he shouting at the man from the BBC?
Yeah. So, well, you know, he's definitely a loony, and he's talking about this, and you couldn't hear a lot of the stuff he was saying either. So he didn't make kind of one good point. He just started screaming about FEMA camps and stuff like that aren't even relevant in his country and wouldn't be understood by people that aren't, you know, awake to that kind of thing, or have the kind of information fields that we dip into. So, you know, I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity on his part, and he should have been better briefed, and he should have been better bloody prepared, you know. Yeah,
well, again, maybe that is not down to Alex. Maybe he is relying on people to brief him. Maybe it is, and maybe Alex, you know, I am looking at it from trying to see it from a more worldly perspective. That's going to go out worldwide.